All right, Miss Woodfall, Miss Gabrielle, I'm glad that you could make it again today.
Okay, I'm glad to be here.
So, so I just want to ask. Well, first, just want to ask, how you feeling today? How are you doing?
I'm relaxed.
You feeling relaxed today?
Yes, I feel relaxed. Um, I have a sense of joy about myself today.
Okay. So, well, I remember last time you were telling me you felt stressed. So what about today? Is just like what's happened between our last session and this session to make you feel more relieved?
Well, I've been doing some reading, writing down in my, the personal notebooks. I'm spiritual, so I've been reading my Bible and praying a lot. And basically, I just mustered up some confidence and yeah, just being able to come here and talk to you also helped me cope with, the anxiety and the things that I was feeling.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. So, so do you consider yourself like a very religious person?
Yes, I do. Well, religious, as far as organizational, yes, I like to fellowship among other believers. However, spiritual meaning I do believe in a higher power. So yes, I do. I do like to be around a body of believers in a building, what we call the church.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I kind of get that. I feel as though I'm kind of the same way as far as I am spiritual. I do believe in a higher power.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of even just knowing like feeling like knowing there's a higher power. Sometimes that gives you some sense of relief. Just knowing like there's someone there's someone or something, depending on exactly what you believe in, just looking out for you.
I think that's why we're able to connect more.
Hmm.
And I think that's why I like talking to you more as my therapist.
Cause, yeah, 'cause it's pretty much the same religious kind of belief.
Yes.
Okay, I get that. Well, so then you also just consider religion to be like just a big part of your, not even life, just part of your personality.
I do. And I do declare God head of my life. Um, as far as religion, I don't put my trust in people. Like I said, I love being in an organization, meaning I love to worship amongst a body of believers, you know, as far as religion goes. But I do declare God as head of my life, the higher power that we were talking about.
Yes.
And that's why I am in so much peace. So, yes, I do.
Well then, not now, and let me know if at any point you get uncomfortable with the questions I ask.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of stay on the topic of just kind of religion for a while.
Okay.
So, well, first I just want to know, so let's say at the times when you were stressed, when you felt stressed or when you just felt overwhelmed, do you feel like your faith was wavering at those points or was it just normal stress?
I wouldn't say that my faith was wavering because I trust and I believe in God that I will overcome the feeling of anxiety. Well, the feeling of fretting, worrying if my assignments were right or avoiding confrontation. I I guess I just put my focus too much on the outcomes of what could happen. But once I learned to just focus on my now, that is that's when I was able to operate in my faith. So I stopped worrying about, oh, I'm gonna get a bad grade or my professor not gonna like this. And I just focus on my now. So I just focus on doing the assignment and doing the work and submitting it rather than worrying about if my, instructors would like it. So to say all that, my faith, it wasn't wavering.
So yeah, so it wasn't really your faith then that was wavering. It was just pretty much what your focus was at the time.
Yes, I think, yeah, my focus, I was out of order with my focus. I got lost in wondering, I got lost in worrying about the professors versus worrying about the quality of my work and having confidence in myself, knowing that I am doing great work. Do you kind of understand where I'm coming from?
Oh yeah, I completely understand that.
So no, my faith wasn't wavering.
Well then, let's kind of move. Well, let's move back to your academics then, because initially on the first session, that's what you told me was the issue.
Right.
So then, are you feeling more at ease during this semester than you were the last semester?
Yes, yes, I am. And because, yes, I am. I don't want to jump ahead. Yes, I am feeling at peace and relieved than I was during the last session.
And do you say like it's because you changed your focus?
Yes, I do. I do believe it's because I changed my focus.
So do you still at any point worry about the teachers, your instructors, or what they think or how they may react?
To be honest, no. I approach it from a positive standpoint. Now when I do my work and take my time with it, I tell myself my professor is really going to enjoy reading my work. That's what I say now. And they actually do. Whenever I have to do a discussion, like I just had a quiz, and it was challenging, but it wasn't hard, if it makes sense, because everything that was on the test was in the book. So I decided to answer the questions that I knew off the top of my head. And, I began to say, even though I was frustrated a little bit because it was unexpected, meaning I didn't expect the test to be formatted the way that it was. However, after reading the questions, it gave me an opportunity to present great quality work responses to my professors, if it makes sense. So now I say my professors are going to really appreciate my work ethic and my academics and my responses.
Okay, so now just to clarify, so what I'm hearing is that now that you're more focused on the now versus focusing on, I'm not gonna say the future, but I'll say the variables that you can't control.
Right.
And then that with the built up confidence of my work is good, I already know it's good. It's just kind of it relieved the pressure that you felt, or the pressure you were giving yourself.
Yes. I'm relieved now because I no longer focus on things that I can't change, which is the professor. I focus on what I could change, which is my work and my work and how I construct my work or do my work. Yeah. So that's why I'm at peace now and that's why I'm satisfied with my academics.
All right, well, I just want to transition to another topic as well. So, do you, I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
So I just wanted is there anything else, like any personal issues in your life right now that may be causing any other stress?
Well, no, that was pretty much it. Once I realized that I was beating myself up or battling within myself, I pretty much learned how to move forward in my academics.
Okay. Well, then I also just wanted to ask a little bit, maybe about your personal life, if that's okay.
That's okay.
All right. Well, I just want to ask about.
Well, can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
When you say personal, are you meaning interpersonal relationships, platonic, family, or things of that nature?
Just I want to talk about, I guess, maybe the people in your life,
Okay.
like people in your life, and the influences they may have on you.
Okay. Okay, we can do that.
Well, yeah, but let's start with family though. So how are you and your family? Well, first, tell me, how many do you have? How many siblings do you have? Like mother, father?
Okay, I have three other siblings. I have two sisters and one brother. I am the youngest of them all. My mother is alive. I just talked to her today, and my father is deceased.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
Alright, so, well, you say you spoke with your mother today. So, how was that conversation like?
It was well. I just asked her how she was doing, and I wanted to hear her voice and let her know that I love her. And she was compelled to talk with me, but she was busy moving around, like changing the house around, and she sound really warm-hearted, like she was okay and welcoming. So the conversation was short, but I I accomplished the goal, and that was to let her know that I love her, and she did this. She, gave me the same in return. She told me she loved me too. So the conversation was well. It was mutual.
So, would you say like just hearing your mother's voice just eases you a little bit?
Yes, it does. It really does. Being away from her, 5 hours and a half away, to me, well, I know being her youngest daughter, it was a hard pill for her to swallow. Um, and being away, I'm pretty much used to it, but I do miss her, and I would love for her to be here with me. However, we haven't really came to an agreement on that right now. So yes, hearing my mom's voice, it does give me peace.
Alright, so then I want to ask about your other siblings then, like with you and your siblings. How's your relationship with them?
Well, it's in the making. My oldest sister, we talk. Um, I'll say seldomly, maybe, maybe, maybe 6 times out of a month. My brother and I, we rarely talk because he works for Mississippi Marines. So I talk to him when I think he's, relaxed or have a moment to like settle down, being that his, you know, the type of work that he does. And my sister, my next to the older sister, I try and talk to her at least once a week or twice a week because she's in Texas, and she has my two nephews with her. My brother and my brother and my oldest sister is in Greenville with my mom. So that's why I'm not as concerned with what they're doing as much as my sister who is in Texas.
Yeah, because you're just so far away.
Yes, she's far away, and she and I was the closest. Though she's older than I am, when I was younger, she pretty much took me everywhere with her. And my brother and my oldest sister was always close. Though we all loved each other, that just was the nature of our relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do you plan on going back home to visit your family anytime soon? Maybe during the break?
Well, initially, I had made plans to go home during the Independence break. However, I'm just taking one day at a time. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But that was the plan. The plan was to go home. But because of, due to other financial obligations that I have, um, it's still, I'm gonna have to take a rain check. Yeah.
Well, since you brought up financial obligations, and let me ask this: do you feel like maybe your financial issues or financial obligations may be adding on other stress as well?
Well, honestly, you want me to be honest?
Yeah, yeah, be as honest as you feel you need to be.
Okay. Well, to be honest, no, I don't have any. I don't know if it would be relevant to say that I don't have any stress, being that I am in a counseling session. But I will say I'm sustained in my finances. I'm stable, is what I mean. Though I'm not working, my education is paid for, so I don't have to worry about that. I didn't have to take out any loans, so that's another factor that I'm not worried about. Um, with the scholarship that I received, it covered everything. So therefore, I'm not financially stressed. But when I said financial obligations, I was talking about intentional things, intentional investments that I plan to invest in. So basically, I decided to put one investment or obligation over another. I choose to invest in a business versus then using the money to go home. Does it make sense?
Yeah, so pretty much you want to use your money to, I'll say, come so your money can benefit you further on in the future.
Yes.
Versus just using it now and then it'll just be gone.
Yes. And I told my mom she would be happy if I can come home. However, my mom understand. She know when I can, I'll sneak up on her. I love sneaking up on her. She think I'm trying to sneak up on her. But even after making the financial obligations to invest in myself, I still know that I will have more money to go home. I just want to take care of that first, and earn more income and then be able to go home while I'm earning residual income. And that way when I go home, if my mom needs something, I can help my mom, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with this. I kind of got excited about my finances because I was in a better position, and the first thing I thought about was going home. But again, as stated previously, I decided to invest, and after I've taken care of business, I can enjoy the pleasures of going home. Business before pleasures, right?
Yeah, correct. Right. I can, because I'm actually the same way. There's been plenty of times I've wanted to go home, maybe even have the opportunity, but I understand you have to handle business first as other obligations come up.
Yes, sir.
So it makes sense. Also, so far from what I'm hearing is since our last session, there's just been really not too many stress. Your stress has been slowly alleviating, and then there's been nothing else added on to it.
No.
Well, I also just want to ask. So, what about your leisure time? So I heard you talk a lot about academics and getting business handled. So, what about your leisure time?
Well, leisure time. To be honest, I have a lot of time on my hand. Like, I am a morning person, so I enjoy getting up in the morning. So in the morning, if I want to, I can get an exercise in, or I could paint or do some things that I love to do. However, I channel my focus on reading. If I could spend all my time reading, I would. But what I decide to do is just catch up on assignments that are not due, and that way I can have more leisure time. So with the additional leisure time I have, I don't know if I said this in the last session, but I like to go out and enjoy nature. I like to look at flowers, pretty flowers. I like to go out and eat at restaurants. Sometimes I like to shop. It all depends on what it is. I'm not a big shopper. I could just walk around and just look at nice clothing. They call it window shopping. But it's not window shopping because I don't desire those things. That's pretty much what I like to do during my leisure time. I have a lot of leisure time on my hand. So what I do is I put the work I put the work into the time. Yeah.
Well, I know the main thing I heard there was that you like to read. Reading is what you really just love to do when you have free time.
Yes, I do. I love reading because to me the best kept secrets are in books. And you never know what you could discover in books. And until recently, I like to read, but it wasn't as sufficient as it is now. I I don't know what has increased my dopamine, what is it, or endorphins, but something has mentally connect with my brain, and it has really put a push in me on why, as to why I love to read so much now, and that's probably another thing or another factor that is effective in my life. That's alleviating stressors out of my life. I just read. I channel my focus and put it into reading.
Well, then it's a particular type of genre or types of reading material you like?
Yes, I like to read about stocks, foreign exchange. I love reading about real estate. Honestly, uh, do you want my honest? Do you want my honest answers also?
Yeah.
Like for real. So I told you stock and real estate, but I love reading about laws and policies as well. I'm not as fluent as I should be about, you know, policy making and laws, but I love contract law. As you may know, the reason why because I was interested in law school before I came to Alabama A&M, and being that I didn't score the required score for that school, I did not get accepted. So learning about assessments as well, I'm interested in that. Learning like psychological testing and assessments.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm interested in reading about that now. It makes me want to change my major over to clinical psychology. But I'm gonna stick with counseling. I hope I'm not getting off topic.
No, you're okay. We're just talking.
So yeah, those are some things that I love to read about. And I like history. I love reading history. So, and another thing that I like to read about is black psychological thought, like black psychology. And that is because we don't, you know how, when you're a therapist, so I know you are familiar with, I know you are familiar with these psychological approaches that you all have to know. I don't really know much about it.
Yes, ma'am.
But I haven't seen much respect to that of like black psychologists like Kenny Clark and Mamie Clark, if you understand what I'm saying. Like black psychologists.
So like those, I'm sorry if I interrupted.
You're not.
Okay. But you mean like those psychologists like from the African American community that have made big contributions to the field of psychology?
Yes, but are not recognized as Sigmund Freud would be, or other psychologists.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I like to read.
So, for what I'm hearing, just from your selection of reading, you just love to build on knowledge.
Yes.
You just love to build your knowledge up.
Yes, I love to build knowledge. I can't know everything, but I learned that reading is fundamental. And even though we can't know everything, it's important to know some things, right?
Yeah, you're right. Correct.
Yeah, and like I said, a big part of why I read is because it does alleviate stress to me outside of painting. I love to paint. Painting helped with my depression during a season in my life. And being here with you and talking to you as my open notebook or my therapist, that also alleviates stress in my life.
Well, actually, I'm happy you brought up the pain. I wanted to come back around to that, because I know normally generally when I'm gonna say when artists do their work, it's usually for emotional relief. So what about you just said like you do your painting, especially when you were going through your depression. So when was the last time you actually painted?
The last time I actually painted, it was probably the middle of last month. And I think I did an abstract painting of just a lot of colors, random colors that I like, a lot of vibrant colors. And I wanted to create like the cells that's in the paint. And I did it on wood, and it came out pretty nice. I don't remember being depressed or stressed at the time, but painting is a big part of me because when I learned how to paint, it was during a time that I was, stressed out or depressed. So maybe the middle of last month was the last time that I actually painted.
You say you don't remember, you don't recall feeling any type of depression or sadness during that time. You just were painting.
I just was painting.
But do you think you use paint as just, let's say, I don't want to just I just don't want to put anything into your life. I just want to say, let's say like let's say you have extra leisure time where you're not reading or you're not, being productive. Do you think you just use painting to just, I'll say, convey the emotion you're feeling, whether it's you consider it to be a negative emotion or a positive emotion, you just use the paint and the canvas and the brushes to convey whatever emotion you're feeling?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever emotion I'm feeling, happy, sad, angry, yes, I do. I paint. And those are mainly the psychedelic ones. Whatever's going on in your mind, you paint it. So I normally would channel that energy to abstract painting. And, and it forms the representations of colors. Yeah. With many different colors. I represent that through a variety of colors, if that makes sense.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Ms. Woodfall, so far today we just covered, we covered your academics, what you say, you feel better about that.
Yes.
Your personal life and relationship with your family, what you say, you're content with how everything is for right now.
Yes.
And then even with your other relationships, you feel content with those?
Well, when you say other, are you meaning like personal relationships?
Well, with this one, just personal, anyone outside of family, personal, whether it be employers, co-workers, or even just anyone else in your life.
Yes, I do. I do. I feel content with them. But it was just one, maybe about 2 months ago, that I haven't spoken with in a while. He would be the only one. And basically, he began having financial problems and car problems. He was without a car. And I just tried to encourage him and let him know that, people are not obligated to do things for us. People, without cars, we have to do things for ourselves. And, I don't think he took that well. Even though we didn't stop, we still communicated a little while after that. I just noticed how he didn't take it so well. And if I feel like as an individual, if I cannot help you or correct you on this journey, then we don't need to be friends. But other than that, my personal relationships with my friends, my colleagues, or those that I attend school with, it's not perfect, but they are benefiting.
Okay. So you found it just be beneficial there. Pretty much all your relationships are serving the purpose they need to serve in your life.
Yes, definitely. They definitely is.
Okay.
They are all benefiting because most of my friends are outside of the one that I was telling you about. Well, even he had empathy. Most of my friends empathize. We empathize with each other. Yeah, we may not agree all the time, but we respect one another's perspective. So they are all at a mutual level of understanding.
Yeah, well, that's a person. Well, that's an important thing when it comes to any relationship. You're not always going to see eye to eye, but as long as you have respect for each other, that's a really big thing.
That's right.
So, well, I'm very happy to hear that you're feeling better, that your stress is alleviating, and that you just feel more confident in yourself. So, and from what I understand, like even just with your coping mechanisms, they so far seem pretty healthy. It seems like you're doing what you need to do. And I can't think to give you any homework or assignments except for just try to keep going, try to keep doing what you're doing.
Thank
Like
you.
I say, the only thing I could say is maybe try to take a break. I'm not gonna say like going home or don't spend any money, but try to take a break where you just put your mind at ease.
Okay.
So take the time where your mind is just at ease and there's nothing else going on.
Okay. I'll do that.
Yes, ma'am. Well, before we close today, do you have any questions for me or any concerns?
Well, no. I just hope that during our last session that I'm still in this peaceful state that I'm in, or well, in other words, I pray. I just hope that when we meet for the last time, that I'm still at peace the way I am now. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I hope you are too. All right, Ms. Whitfall, there's nothing else today. Like I said, I'm happy you came, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks for having me.